organizing data. What you're going to have is very simple. They're going to give you a table that looks sort of like this. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this information in this table and you're going to organize this from least to greatest. Remember, whenever you have a table, just automatically assume, unless they tell you different, that the right side of your table, which is this portion here, is going to be your X, right? And then this portion on this side here is going to be your Y, okay? So if I were to label this, or if I were to take these coordinates out of this, I would automatically assume that this is going to be X and Y. So for instance, these two coordinates in here would be 0.2 or 0.20, comma 1, right? And then I would take this to a graph and I would then plot this. I would go over horizontally to my right 2/10 of a space, or 0.2, 1/5, whatever you want to call it, and I would go there, and then I would go up on the y-axis 1 unit, and then I would put my point there at 2/10 or 0.2 and 1. All right. So that's that for that part. Second, if we want to organize the data, so very simple. This is organizing the data. If I were to look at this, I would say which numbers are my least and which numbers are my greatest, and I would take them and I would organize them from least to greatest, just simply using my X value. My Y value is just going to come along with it. So if I have 2, wherever I put this 2 at, this 7.2 is going to go right with it. Okay? So very simple. I would look at this data set and I would say my smallest value right now is 0.2. Okay? I'm just going to highlight it so I know which ones I'm actually using right now. So I would take that and I would now reorganize this as 0.2 and 1. I would look for my next value, my next smallest value, which is 0.4. So I would take 0.4. I'm just highlighting them so I know that I've already used it. This is going to be 0.4. This is going to be 2. I then go and take my next value. My next value is going to be, the next smallest value is going to be 1. So I'll take 1, I highlight it, and then I put it here, 1 and 3.2. As you notice, the only thing I'm organizing right now is my X value from least to greatest. My Y value is going to vary. It's going to be all over the place. Right now it's least to greatest, but it'll be all over the place. It doesn't always have to be least to greatest. So 1.2, I didn't highlight it, so let me just highlight it so I know I used it. 1.2, and then this is going to be 4.2. I'm going to take that, look for my next smallest value, which is going to be 1.3. Oops, I'll get both of those here. 1.3. 1.3, and this is going to be 5. Then go to my next value, which is going to be 2. This is 2. This is 7.2. Take my next value, which is 3. There's 2 3s. So, because there's 2 3s, I'm going to put these in order from least to greatest based on their Y value, right? This is going to be 3. This is going to be 9.2. And this is going to be 3. And it's going to be 12.2. Especially since this is already going least to greatest, I just keep following the trend. But I'm mainly focused on these. But since I know that 3 and 9.2 is less than 3 and 12.2, that makes it least to greatest that way. And then I look at my next one, which is 4 and 14. And then my next one after this would be 6 and 22. So in this case, we got lucky that our Y values were also least to greatest. Sometimes your Y values may vary; they may be all over the place, especially because we're using a scatter plot. we're looking at scatter plots, and as you look up the definition of scatter plots, that means your points are just scattered all over the coordinate plane or the grid, right? So they're not just in a straight linear line. We're not using a linear equation on this right now. There's an equation called the line best fit that you'll end up using as you get into higher level math. But right now, for what we're doing, we're simply taking the table, looking at our x and y values, we're reorganizing it. All right, least to greatest, making sure it's nice and pretty. So if someone were to look at this, they can just say, when I have 2/10 of one side, I know that the length of the perimeter is 1. I know that when I have 4/10 of the short side, I know that the length of the perimeter is 2, and so on, right? Short side, and it just makes it easier for you to look at, right? More appealing to the eye. Any questions? Email me, um, and I'll be able to assist you. Everybody should have my email, nbellamy@calibercma.org. All right. Have a great day.